We bow in respect. We practice martial arts for peace and harmony. Aloha e Malama Pono, and thank you for joining us. Today we're going to share with you some of the lessons passed on to us by Sifu Richard. Today we also had the opportunity to train with many of our IMB family from around the world, as we had a special Zoom-based web training led by the instructors at the IMB Academy, Sifu Steve, Guru Mike, and Sifu John. So Mahalo Nui Loa to them for bringing us all together today in honor of our teacher. This brings to mind a Hawaiian expression, Mahalo o ke kupuna. Be grateful for your ancestors, for they are the ones who teach us to have respect for the past, and through their guidance to have application to the present, and by their example to have preparation for the future. Today we're going to train in honor of Sifu Richard some of the techniques from Junfan Jikundo. This is something that Sifu Richard developed that was trained with our IMB Ohana earlier today. This progression that we're showing you leads you to wanting to be better at the what if you weren't able to hit first. What if you're on the receiving end and you have to defend yourself? Now that's something that Bruce Lee already had, that he passed on to his students, the four corners. So the principles of it derive from Wing Chun, but he developed it further, and actually so did Sifu Richard in the way that he taught us. So let's take a look at how to do the four corners. So the concept behind the four corners is simultaneous attack and defense. So what we were doing previously to this was we were initiating a preemptive attack, really. So it wasn't self-defense, it was self-offense. We could have that feeling that someone was about to attack us, so we preempted it by BAM! We're gonna get them first. Now in this instance, we were not quite that preemptively ready. So we had to respond to an incoming attack. So the concept of four corners is, if I'm the bad guy for you, I'd be giving you a big right, or I'd be giving you a big left, or I'd be giving you a low right, or I'd be giving you a low left. So how would you respond to that? Well, if you're the bad guy for us, then we are both going to do an inside intercept, bam. Okay. Now we have a crawl, walk, run way that we teach this. And primarily that's designed not only to build your confidence, but also to prevent any injuries. So what do I mean by that? Well, I'll give you an example. When I throw the big right at Nate, instead of trying to punch me in the face right away, his other hand's gonna check my shoulder, all right? So I'm here, boom. And notice my live hand is checking his forearm. Boom, boom, all right? So he'll come around on this side and do the same thing for me so I can show you. He throws the big right, boom. So what I want you to see is I have forward momentum. My arm is attacking that mid forearm and that deltoid. My other arm's like a seatbelt across his chest, right? So I have a really, really strong leverage. Also, his hand is not making contact with me, and that's valuable in case he had a weapon in his hand, right? What if he tried to attack me with some sort of weapon, like an impact weapon like a stick, or an edge weapon like a knife? Either way, I don't want to necessarily have that happen. I want to stop the weapon at its source, which is the person wielding it. So we're going to stop that right there. So 3 of those would look like this. I throw for him. Okay, level 2 for that is his live hand will be my target. So as he comes in with the big right, boom, I'm gonna nail him, right? 2 more times. I throw for him. Now in adding to that, Today when we were training online with our IMB Ohana, we worked one of Sifu Richard's favorite combinations. And that was after the initial intercept, bam, now I'm going to be attacking with a combination follow-up, and in this case that's going to be hammer fist. So I'm going to go wang, wang, wang. And those of you who know him know he loves saying that, right? Wang, 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 all kinds of sound effects. So here we go again. Wang, wang, wang. I'll throw for Nate. He throws for me. Wang, wang, wang. I throw for him. Nice. Now one of the reasons why we're using the hammer fist is you don't injure your hand. You'll notice even before in the pad drills, we weren't using any gloves. So for some of this, I really like to do that because in real life, you probably won't have any gloves on. Keep that in mind when you're training this to keep it alive by doing that. Now to build on that combination, we're going to add a couple strikes with the lower body. This is something that Sifu Richard developed that was trained with our IMB Ohana earlier today. So, Nate throws the big right, I intercept. Boom, I counterattack. Wang, wang, wang. Now I add in 2 shots. So the concept is upper body, lower body. Intercept, 1, 2, 3. Then lower body, 1, 2. Any 2 lower shots that you want. So now Nate's going to give it a shot. I throw the big right, he follows up, bang, 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 then he kicks, and he kicks. All right, 2 more times. I throw, very nice. Now we're gonna do that with pads. Very nice. Here we go. Nice. So to truly work this as a 4-corner drill, you build it the same way. Start with an interview posture, right? Oh, hey, I'm having a nice day, talking with my hands so that I'm protecting my center line. And that way, if Nate and I have to explode, we can, boom, right? So that's how we're gonna work our 4 corners. Bang, whole body, then whole body, then whole body, then whole body. To that, you can add your combos. So intercept, wang, 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 goosh, goosh, okay? Whatever you want to do. So that's an introduction to the 4 corners of Junfan Jeet Kune Do. Anything you want to show your pin out right now?
Yep, so that's basically the 4 corners. We did the upper 2 mainly for the practice. Make sure you do a simultaneous hit and a block at the same time. It's not really like I'm pulling back at all, but both hands are shooting out from the center line. Boom, so I'm kind of meeting the force, but my rotation kind of adds in a little redirection, but I don't want to be too straight as well as not too collapsed with my arm, because that arm will just blast right through it. So you want to have that nice 45-degree angle, like an obtuse angle here, so it's not fully locked out and it's not 90 degrees, but right at the perfect isometric hold for your arm, which you'll see a lot in Wing Chun with their Tan Sao and Pak Sao, everything. It's just that slight bend and boom, straight out. So instead of a Tan though, it's rotated out to where it's almost like a Buji. And I'm coming out in this manner, left and right, simultaneous. Okay, so practice those things. We're all good with that.
So keeping in mind what he's talking about with the angle, if you've ever lifted bicep curls before, you know that down here, your body can start to drift. Up here, your lower back can start to arc backward. But if you hold it right just outside 90 degrees, you're at your strongest biomechanical angle. And that's gonna be your intercept angle on the defending arm, regardless of which of the corners you're working, all right? So next, you want to coordinate your whole body movement with that, and what we mean by that is, if he's throwing the big right, I want my whole body collapsing into him with power and inertia. He throws the big left, same thing. Now on the low line, because of drilling a lot with edged weapons, we add a hollow to this. So if he's striking me low, my body's gonna hollow away just in case there's a blade, right? He goes to the low line this side, boom, okay? I'll throw for him, he'll show the same 4 corners. High line, low line, low line. Okay? So now to drill the 4 corners, we use longer pads, and that allows the person who's doing the technique to intercept much more deeply and have a full range of pad for where their body makes contact with yours. And actually, if you're fortunate enough to have someone bigger and stronger than you are to hold the pads for you, that is best. You get used to having to deal with that size and power when you execute your techniques. So here we go, 4 corners. First round will be slow. I feed him a big right. I feed him a big left. I feed him a low right. I feed him a low left. I feed him a big right, big left, low right, low left. Big right, big left, low right, low left. Big right, big left, low right, low left. Nice. So that's a way you can really drill the 4 corners. I'll also show you how to use these pads in slow motion if you're going to follow up with a combination. So for example, I feed him the big right, he comes in with the 3 hammers, then he goes for his kick, and he goes for his kick. I feed him the big right, hammer, 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 kick, kick. I feed him the big left, hammer, 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 kick, kick. I feed him the low right, hammer, 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 kick, kick. I feed him the low left, hammer, 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 kick, kick. Okay? Whatever combination you like. So you can add your combos into your deal. Ideally, you have a training partner who learns how to hold the pads, because that is an art in itself. And if you trained with Sifu Richard, you already know that the pad holder is half of your drilling right there, at least.
Yeah, so this is a great drill so that you can actually use more force with the arm and not have to like destroy your partner's arms with the longer pads, and you can get more of that force we're talking about with that blocking hand, shooting out forward, not just punching with the punching hand.
And you might not be able to see it, but Nate can probably hit harder than you think he can, because ever since he was in high school, I've hit him hard, and that taught him to know pain. And as one of my teachers once told me, you have to know pain to give pain. And he was trained from when he was in high school to hit me hard enough for me to respect his hit. And I want everyone to respect yours. So train like your life depended on that one move. So one of the beautiful things about this art is that it really isn't reinventing the wheel. It's customizing the wheel for you. Bruce Lee derived a lot of his core material from Wing Chun, boxing, and fencing, then applied it in his development of Jun Fan. And then his friends and students, people like our teacher, Sifu Richard Bustillo, then customized it even further for themselves. Make your art your own. As Sifu Richard would say, discover your Jeet Kune Do. We bow in respect. We practice martial arts for peace and harmony. We come in peace. We look for and see the good in others. We train in mutual respect. Aloha.
Aloha.